April 7, 2022. Ukraine reported that Mariupol saw losses of 5,000 dead. This brings my estimate of war dead on both sides, military and civilian, to 27,000. ABC News reported that UN General Assembly voted Russia out of the UN Human Rights Council. USA Today reports Ukraine has dispatched investigative teams to interview people, take photos, and document Russian war crimes in Kiev. CBS News reported that Nancy Pelosi proved you can get COVID after vaccination too. Yep, she's got it. They also reported that the Senate voted unanimously to suspend normal trade relations with Russia. Multiple sources report Israel's ruling party may be losing control. Idit Silman resigned, leaving the coalition weak. Some say this was the best government Israel had in 48 years. It is looking more and more like the U.S. is responsible for the attempted parliamentary coup against Imran Khan, according to several sources. PressTV.ir says Imran Khan named U.S. State Department official Donald Lu as the man behind the attempted parliament coup. U.S.-Pakistan relations disappeared after Biden's hasty withdrawal from Afghanistan, leaving them with enough armament to invade Pakistan. Meanwhile, lots of coups and attempted coups happening in Africa. TFI Global reports that in addition to oil and gas, Germany has been heavily reliant on Russia for food. A quart of wheat for a day's wages, anyone? 7.6% inflation in March, highest in 40 years. Economic collapse is what they are predicting based on the data. The current German government has given EU power over to France and is mindlessly following the US policies. This is also why the upcoming French election is the greatest hope of Europe to get back freedom instead of authoritarianism. If you consider the price of food, gas, cars, and houses only, inflation is more like 33%, not 7.6%. Greece has broken ties with Russia, according to Alex Christoforou, who lives there. He also says people are striking because of rising costs and lower incomes. He says the country has been completely gutted for the last 15 years because of signing on with the EU. Russia now has the EU nuts in a vice grip and is beginning to squeeze. AP reports that Finland and Sweden are starting to sweat an impending Russian invasion themselves and are appealing to NATO to let them come under its wing. NATO says they are welcome to apply. And being a huge bureaucracy, it'll probably be approved as soon as Russia is done taking over their countries. Okay, I added and paraphrased just a little bit on the story. The only part the AP said was Finland and Sweden wanted to join, and NATO said they are welcome to apply. I like my version better. Huffington Post quotes General Mark Milley as saying Putin's war could take years to end. I say 3.5 years, according to Revelation. I see Putin as the red horseman. But a funny thing about the four horsemen, the white one comes out first to strike from afar with a great bow. That hasn't happened yet. The red one is essentially reacting to the attack and fights countries close by with tanks and helicopters. I'm thinking NATO will nuke first and then Russia will come back. Council on Foreign Relations has a white horse with a naked guy on. CNN has an article quoting Zelensky asking, "What is the UN for?" It's a good question. They sure get a lot of money. What are they doing with it? CNBC has an article quoting Janet Yellen saying Ukraine war will have an enormous global impact. I agree with her on that. And her feckless administration helped bring it about. Is she turning herself in for treason? I'm sure she would get a light sentence if she turns over state evidence on the rest of the administration. Okay, back to reality. China Uncensored is reporting that China is lying about COVID and using lockdowns in Shanghai to punish the opposition. Russell Brand talked about BlackRock. They are looking for ways to centralize cryptocurrency now that they are so popular so governments can regulate and control them. BlackRock controls $10 trillion in assets and is looking to double that with partnerships. They are concentrating and centralizing global wealth and power, he says. MonkeyWorks reported on Biden signing into law the Postal Service Reform Act of 22 that has the language, in the event the Postal Service is dissolved. It makes reference to the pension fund. They have made plans in this for the Postal Service to go bankrupt. He also mentioned Spain is now allowing supermarket food rationing to avoid shortages. Speaking of Biden, Daily Mail reports his son Hunter's whistleblower just recovered 450 gigabytes of deleted data from the laptop with 80,000 images of photos and videos he didn't want anyone to see. This is in addition to the ones we already saw and wished we hadn't. And 120,000 archived emails with his father. I don't know about you, but most people archive an email when it's important to save. I'm sure nothing will come of that, Zika and Morning Joe said again. Just kidding on that last line. Dr. Steve Turley reported that Matthew Martin of Santa Fe, New Mexico was acquitted on all charges for January 6, 2021. The DOJ suffered a big defeat here. Police officials waved him in. Indisputable evidence, the judge said. I want them to countersue the crap out of the DOJ for this and the judges that denied bail to 16 suspects. Dr. Steve Turley also reported that there are 1 million less college students than 2019. He quoted Harvard saying that 50% of colleges and universities will go bankrupt in the next 8 years. The good news is that more students are attending conservative schools and less are attending left-wing schools, which is a great segue to even more good news story. TheWeek.com reports that Chad Kemple from Idaho pushed a stroller with his 5 kids in it through a half marathon and then a marathon and set 2 Guinness World Records doing it, one for the half marathon and one for the full marathon. He said he was trying to show his kids that anything is possible. The kids were shouting, "Run faster, Dad!" the whole way. They thought it was hilarious. The stroller and kids weighed 240 pounds. Thank you for watching The Horn today. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Have the best day of your life. God bless you.